What is your American dream?
My American dream is basically, I don't want to be too wealthy. I don't really care. I just want to live an average life. I want to bring home some money to my parents because my parents are the ones who raised me. They gave me everything, you know. They came from India here just so we could have a better life. So I just want them to have a good life, and I want to be able to take care of them.
America is a really diverse place, rich in culture, and I hope it stays the same forever.
Live your life to the fullest and not having to worry about day-to-day problems that just keep on going on.
I don't have an American dream, but I do have a dream for America. It's just for equality and everybody to be in peace and everybody to treat others as they want to be treated.
My American dream is to become an NYPD and do well in future and make my parents proud.
My dream is already here. We own hotels, we own restaurants, what else you need? I'm good, thank you God.
I do have a dream, and that's the reason I left my family in India to get some good money so they can have a good life in India. I want my family to be here. I will live with them. Maybe God fulfill my dream or not, that I don't know, but I'm trying my best.
Free, liberal society where everybody respects everybody and has a life together, right? Has a society together. That's what American dream is for me.
Everybody live happily and culturally rich at the same time, exploring their dreams and getting them.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome, everybody. It is Brad Show Live. It is Thursday, September 24th. And if it is Thursday, September 24th, or Wednesday the 23rd, or Friday the 25th, it's always the same. I'm joined by Yonathan, Elias, and Vanessa, Ness-quick, Contreras. Hello, guys. How are you? Why are you frozen?
Hey, Brad.
Oh, okay, there you are. You seem frozen for a second. Are you playing jokes on me? No, you're not. Yes, you are a little bit. A little bit. No, I think you're playing jokes on me.
We're just coming out with a smile.
Are you doing the robot?
I'm making sure. My internet be in and out, so I'm just making sure I'm good.
The internet is in and out.
Good.
The outnet, the internet.
You're always good with those moves.
That was a very good move. How you guys doing, by the way?
Oh,
Great.
good. Doing good.
All right.
You said what?
Oh. So we're not going to talk at the same time?
We're trying not to talk at the same time. So, okay, I'll go first. I'm doing great. I went to the gym. You already know I love going to the gym. I'm just happy. I'm happy. I wonder, how are you guys doing?
Good. I was watching sessions all day to maximize my social media craft. That's what I was doing
What
today.
did you learn?
Working on my craft.
What's the number one thing you learned about your craft?
That you have to be yourself. The end. That's what sells on social media.
Be yourself.
Yeah.
Damn, I've been doing the wrong thing this whole entire time. I can't believe it.
Well, Brad,
that's exactly why this works for your brand. That's exactly why.
I have not been myself. I've been playing an attorney, Brad Bernstein. I have not been myself.
Oh, please. No, you've been yourself.
But that's the brand.
This is me. I don't know, brand, no brand. This is who I am. Like it or leave it. Let's say hello to the squad. Jessica Leamy, Joel Reed, squad up. Cordella Douglas, squad up. Deion Watson, squad up. Jasmine McDonald, squad up. Family. Dip Fab, Cake Affairs, how are you? Christy Kinsali, what's going on? Cordella Douglas, squad up. Doreen Dappa, Annette Bullock. Does anyone know the new immigration fees will be coming in October? Yes, they're going up October 3rd. There's a new immigration fee for every form. Some are going up, some are going down. I don't have them in front of me at the moment, but perhaps later in the show I can go and grab them on my desk. I do have them. And if you have a specific question about a specific form, happy to tell you. Let's go to back here, squad up to Joyce. Henry, squad up, and Rob J. Robertson, yo, Who else we got here? Riz Feliciano with a question. We'll get to you in a little bit, Riz. And Kita Daly popping in. Let's see what is going on Facebook. And on Facebook, nobody is saying anything. Could that be? Or am I not? Am I not? Am I? I'm
on YouTube.
I am. Maybe I'm not on YouTube. Let me try again. Oy, ay, 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 ay. We go to my channel. We click on the thingamajiggy. There we go. And Lucia Acaliato with a very nice comment says, "You are a gift to mankind, especially the people who needs advice on immigration problems. Thank you so much." That is really, really nice. And of course,
comment of the day early on.
Yes, it is a comment of the day. Jeremy Goldberg with the poetry of the day.
Oh,
whether you're Croatian or Haitian, regardless of your nation or location, Brad with his great reputation, will assist with your immigration.
Wow.
I think he's getting better every time.
Listen,
better every week.
Every week.
He has a typo in his poem. I fixed it as we went along. But it's okay. I still like it. Whether you're Croatian or Haitian, like let's go one more time. Let's make sure this all rhymes.
Yeah.
Whether you're Croatian or Haitian, regardless of your nation or location, Brad, with his great reputation, will assist your immigration.
I like that.
I'll give it to him.
I'm going to tell you something. This kid is in the wrong profession. He should be writing poetry for a living. Let's say squad up to Miss Sunshine and who else we got here? That's all I see right now on YouTube. Why don't you tell everybody what they need to do while I get ready for some schmoozing, guys?
Absolutely. All right, guys. It is a new day. We are super excited to be here today. I hope that you guys are as well. All right. So now the first thing I need everybody to do on all social media platforms, I need you to join the Brad Squad on Facebook. This is going to be a bomb thing that you guys will appreciate and you guys will thank us later, because I've been getting people that hit me up on my Instagram. They hit me up on my Facebook. They're like, "Hey, can you ask these questions? Can you ask this question?" You don't even have to go through us. You can join this fan page right here, this VIP fan page. You can put in your question throughout the day, anytime throughout the day, and we're going to pick the first 5, and we're going to ask those questions before any questions during social media check-in. So make sure you guys join that right now. Now, sharing is caring. Everybody on Facebook, I need you to start sharing right now at this moment. You should already start sharing before the show comes on. You see, when you see Brad on the corner, chilling with his drink, watching, looking, just listening to his music, y'all already know you need to start sharing at that moment. But now I need everybody to share at the same time so we can, like, the algorithms. I want us to spark the algorithms. So everybody share right now. It's super easy. All you have to do is click the little arrow, says share it to anybody's page. You can share it in the inbox. You can share it to groups. I want you guys to look at different groups. There are millions of groups, I believe, on Facebook, and so many of them are cultural related. So I need you guys to share it to those people, because I know that there are people there that are going to need help, or at least find the information that Brad is going to give to all of us. Okay. Now, also, I want you to put in all your comments and your questions in the comment section right now. If you want to talk to us, Ness-quick and Yo-Yo, we're always going to be in the comment section talking to you. If we miss it, maybe at us, at Brad, at Jill, talk to any of us. We will talk back, because this is what we're supposed to be doing. This is a community. We're a family. We love the interaction, all right? But don't forget to put in all your questions right now so we can make sure that we can ask them during social media check-in. Now, Ness-quick, what are we going to do on YouTube?
On YouTube, Brad Squad, you guys should already be subscribed to the channel, the most important thing, and make sure that you turn on that notification bell so you know when we are live. So important. We're usually here Monday through Friday, 5:30, 6 o'clock, but if you turn on that notification bell, you'll always know when the show is on. And I know that so many of you guys are loyal followers. So, of course, Squad, the only thing that we need from you, just like Yo-Yo said, same thing I'm going to need here. Right below, there's a little share arrow, so make sure you click that. You can copy the link, share it in a text message, share it in a WhatsApp group, share it in whatever groups you're in. You never know when the information given here, someone is seeking for it and they just don't even know it exists. So go ahead, squad, and let's share, share, share. Of course, like Yo-Yo said, I love YouTube, so I'm covering both Facebook and YouTube, but go ahead and throw your comments and questions in the comment section so that we can respond to you guys. We love to interact. And nonetheless, I know the show is just getting started, but I'm only seeing us at 14 thumbs up. Guys, I think we could do so much better than that because there's more than 14 of you guys viewing. So before we get to schmoozing and before I'm done with this, let's see if we can get up to at least 20 thumbs up. I'm watching you guys. I need those. I'm going to get a lot more persistent about those, especially before answering your immigration questions, because by giving us a simple thumbs up, that just lets YouTube know that there's great things happening here. So as soon as you sign on, give us that thumbs up. Let's keep encouraging the rest of the squad to make sure to give us those thumbs up, because that helps us build our growth. It helps with our engagement. And like I said, it lets YouTube know that there are great things happening here. And let's bring Brad Squad and all of the information and value we have to give worldwide. So let's get to that, squad. Thumbs up, comments, we're watching it. Share, share, share. Of course, friends, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Brad Show Live, where if you can't catch a full show, or if you have a friend that can't catch a full show, send them to Instagram, where we share the best snippets of our show. You can also send us a direct message on Instagram. Our team is looking out on all of our platforms to make sure that we get all your questions in for social media check-in and speed round at the end of the show. So make sure that you show us love there. Follow, like, comment, smile face, send us all of your feels. We want to hear it because you guys already know all the value and knowledge that we bring onto the show. But let's get to the first segment, schmoozing with Brad.
All right, so unbelievable what's going on in Louisville. Yesterday, the grand jury in the Breonna Taylor case, I'm sure everybody knows this by now, they recommended 3 counts of wanton endangerment against former Louisville, Kentucky officer Brett Hankinson, who fired blindly, shooting 10 rounds into Taylor's apartment. Breonna Taylor, who never had a criminal record in her entire life, was killed. Nobody has been charged for her death. The grand jury did not charge anybody for the death of Breonna Taylor. Just one officer who got charged with wanton endangerment for shooting into a neighbor's apartment. The grand jury did not charge anybody for the death of a woman who had no criminal record, who was sleeping in her own apartment, and they just banged down the door. At a hastily called midday news conference, Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher announced that beginning today, a 72-hour curfew will be enacted, prohibiting people to be on city streets from 9 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. Sergeant Yonathan Mattingly, he was one of the people who was there on that no-knock warrant. He sent a mass email to the police department on Tuesday defending his actions and criticizing the city's leadership. In his 6-paragraph email, Mattingly apologized to his fellow officers and their families. What about apologizing to Breonna's family? But okay.
All right.
And he blamed the mayor, as well as Public Safety Chief Amy Hess and former Louisville Metro Police Chief Steve Conrad, for failing all of us in epic proportions for their own gain and to cover their asses. Now, Taylor was in her home with her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, when Louisville officers raided the apartment after midnight on March 13th. They were executing a warrant to search for drugs. According to NBC News, no drugs were recovered. The only thing that happened was shots were fired. Breonna Taylor is dead. Now, in response to the grand jury decision, Americans nationwide showed up to protest and demand justice in New York, Chicago, Atlanta, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Philadelphia, Indianapolis, Los Angeles, Washington, D.C. In Louisville, two officers were shot and wounded. CNN reports that the wounds were not life-threatening. Yo-Yo and Vanessa, we're going to be joined by David Moreno shortly. David is a former District Attorney. He's been on our show before. He is a partner here at Spar and Bernstein. I know you both have a lot to say on this. In short, because I want to bring David on so everyone can understand what's happening legally, but obviously what's happening emotionally, you guys are going to share with us right now.
So at this point, you guys already know how deep I feel about Black Lives Matter, protesting. You've seen me out in the streets, even when everybody was scared to go out. My family members, my younger sister lives in Brooklyn, has been protesting in the front streets. She got arrested. We had to raise money for all the people that got arrested there. This right here is literally a slap in the face. To charge an officer for a bullet that didn't hit the person that killed this young lady. You're getting charged for a bullet that didn't hit that, but all those bullets that hit this young lady, there's no charge. It's like, and then to put the curfew, it's like we're gonna spank you, put you in your room, but then it's like we're gonna keep on flat, just waving food and candy and all this in front of your face, and we're not gonna allow you to eat any of it. It's at this point, it's like, what do you do? And that's why I keep on telling everyone we have to vote. You have to vote for. You have to do research with your local voting. To see. I've seen so many stats of how Trump won by like however many votes from his winning states, and then it shows how many black voters didn't go to vote, and it was triple the amount of votes that he won. Literally, if we go out and vote, he will not win these states. He will not win it. So that's the only way we can. That's the only way we can win this. It's the only way. This right here is disheartening, though. It literally ruined my whole.
It is a systemic problem. It is a problem of the system. I'm going to talk to David about it shortly, but first, Ness-quick, what do you have to say?
No, I'm so happy when I heard that we were bringing David on the show. I think it's very important to hear this broken down from someone in his position that experienced being a part of, as a district attorney and part of the system of a city. But because I've had someone in my inbox, like, it's so interesting how there's people just like myself, I'm also like Black. So to me, it's deeply rooted. And there's people that will still argue when you're trying to keep this conversation going about, justice for Breonna Taylor. I literally had someone in my inbox that's like, I can't believe how people do not have all the details on this case and go ahead and continue to preach justice when it was already served. That is literally what I got in my inbox. And I did not even bother. I said what I had to say to this person, and then I did not care to continue the conversation.
Just out of curiosity, how was justice served?
Well, they just felt that all the details that the media, the way that the media presents everything, did not give all the details on the case. And what I had posted was how it was city money, like how it was taxpayers' money that ended up paying for the settlement with her family. That's what I had posted. And I was attacked because she felt that, the police department shouldn't have been, or there should have not been any money, that was enough served, basically, that justice was served by her family receiving the amount of money that they did.
All right.
So can't wait to hear from David.
Yeah, let's
break this down.
Let's watch Spar and Bernstein trial attorney. He's a former assistant district attorney, David Moreno. He posted a video on his Instagram earlier today reacting to the grand jury's decision in the Breonna Taylor case. Let's watch.
It's time to have a conversation about the role of a prosecutor in a criminal court proceeding. This is something that I've thought about so much over the years, something that ultimately led to my decision after law school to become a prosecutor. Why? Because the role of a prosecutor is actually to seek justice, right? Contrary to popular belief and contrary to what we see ever so often, prosecutors do not represent a victim making an allegation. Prosecutors do not represent law enforcement. Prosecutors by nature represent the county or city and the constituents contained therein. Meaning, for example, in New York, if you're a prosecutor in New York, you represent the city of New York, the people that live in the city of New York. And it's your role to seek justice. What does that mean? That means to take an extra hard look at a case to make sure that when you have someone's liberty in your hands, you're investigating the case thoroughly. Your job as a prosecutor, your role as a prosecutor, is not to give a defense attorney a hard time, is not to take one person's word as gospel without doing your own due diligence. An efficient, effective, thorough, and honest prosecutor is going to look at a case even more thoroughly and with more scrutiny than a public defender or than a defense attorney. Unfortunately, so many times, so often, we are dealing with prosecutors that don't understand that great honor and the role that they have, because of which we have a broken criminal justice system. And I'm telling all of you young prosecutors out there, don't fall into the bureaucracy of your office. If something doesn't feel right, speak up. If there's an arrest that you're unsure about, do your due diligence. Make sure that you feel comfortable at the end of the day and you can sleep at night with what you do every day at work. It can be an amazing job and you can help a lot of people, but your role is to seek justice. Remember that.
All right, so David Moreno is joining us. I have also Yonathan and Vanessa, myself. Now, David, you came into my office earlier today. You had a lot to tell me, a lot of thoughts. You want to summarize what you told me in my office and then about what happened here with Breonna Taylor? And then, of course, I welcome Yonathan and Vanessa to jump in and ask their questions as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys. Awesome to be here. You guys do an excellent job every day, and every time I'm on the show, I'm honored and blessed. But yeah, what I share with you, Brad, and it's actually sad to say that when I made that clip this morning, that was about 8:30 this morning. And by 8:30, I had already been dealing with a prosecutor from a particular office in the tri-state area for about an hour and a half that was really abusing their power. Not really being receptive to reason. And I say it's sad because, Brad, I posted that. Obviously, what happened with Breonna Taylor is an amazing example of why what I said resonates with so many people. But when I posted that in that moment, I wasn't even thinking about Breonna Taylor. I was thinking about the everyday battle that you face as a criminal defense attorney in New York City, as a black man in New York City, or any city, or as, you know, any human being that should be guaranteed, you know, due diligence, due process, and justice, not just, you know, a minority. Obviously, you know, what happened with Breonna Taylor, I have extremely strong thoughts about, and maybe that led to subconsciously why I was so frustrated today. But even to those prosecutors that are out there that, you know, want to do good when they come in the office, I've seen so many people fall in line, change their value systems, and become different from when they first started. They go in with high hopes of doing the right thing, and if they're not strong-willed enough, they just fold to, you know, and I said it to someone today on Instagram, the mob mentality. Just like in the police department, there are good cops that come in there and say, hey, I want to be a community police officer and do the right thing, and then they fall to mob rule. Or in the corporate environment, we see it all the time.
Well, you know, I was talking to you and I said, from a lawyer standpoint, okay, I understand the defense of the cops, which is I'm getting shot at, so I have to protect myself and I shoot. That's their defense. That's how they got off. Self-defense, even though there's evidence that they shot first. Now, we were talking, David, and I said, what is somebody to do? This is a systemic problem that we have with our entire system. These cops, I don't think I could be wrong. I don't know. You can go to all four of us because I'd like to see everybody's reaction. I could be wrong. I don't know. But I don't think they woke up that morning and they said, I'm going to go kill a black woman. I don't think that was their mentality. I think that they woke up and they were told they have to do this no-knock warrant, which is knock down a door and go arrest somebody in somebody's private home. And they have, and I'm not defending the cops by any way, because a woman got killed and someone has to go to jail for that. But they have two choices. They could say, I'm not going to go knock down this lady's door. And then they could be suspended. They could be put on desk duty. They could be fired for insubordination. They got to follow what their superiors tell them to do. Their superiors told them, go knock down this door. And when they go and knock down the door, we've all seen enough movies already. Nobody goes and knocks down a door picking their nose. They knock down their door, guns like this. Have to, ready. So the superiors in the police department, the judge who signed the no-knock warrant, the legislators who made this law, the governor who signed the law, to me, are all complicit. Because they know when they are going to knock down a door, somebody's going to defend themselves. We don't know who shot first, but you got to expect it. And the cops expect it because they come with their guns drawn. They're going to get shot. They're already trigger happy. Because they know somebody may shoot them. So they'll already have happy trigger finger. And then a shot goes off and let me finish. And then a shot goes off and everybody and people die. So the cops with their happy trigger finger, the cops who don't say anything, and just go and follow blindly their superiors, go knock down this door to a home where a woman is living who's never been arrested, to find out there's no drugs in, and this is just for drugs. This is not some manhunt for some massive killer of 50 people. And to follow all of these rules from a judge, from the higher ups in the police department, the governor, the legislator, and to me, where it's even more racist, where it is even more unfair, where it is two justice systems. I said to David, I said, can you imagine a scenario in Louisville, Kentucky, where a judge signs off on a warrant to tell cops to go knock down a door in an upper middle class white neighborhood because somebody there is suspected of having drugs? Would that ever happen in an upper white middle class? Never. So it's the systemic racism of all of this, of cops blindly following along, of superiors saying, go do this in black neighborhoods. And in the end, a black woman is dead who never committed a crime. Somebody knocks down their door, and nobody is responsible and pays for this because the cops say, well, I was defending myself. To me, that is what that is a system-wide. These are not, I mean, it may be racist cops. I'm not commenting on, I don't know what's going through their head. But this is a systemic problem. A systemic problem that only will be fixed when our leaders fix the laws.
So I agree that, it's definitely a systemic problem. But one, I don't see how the system would be considered the problem when she was on the floor literally gasping for air for 20 minutes left on the floor. Her fiance said that she was still alive, coughing for blood, and nobody called for her. Nobody did CPR. So how is, I'm like kind of baffled. Like it's not just the system. These people are they are crooked. They're crooked cops.
Well, I would
respond to that.
Yeah, sure.
You see, I shot you first, and you're on the ground gasping for air.
You as a police officer have a police officer have a responsibility to get that person help immediately, not 20 minutes later.
This is what I was going to say.
Immediately.
And I don't know, and this goes back to my earlier point, and I agree with Brad's point. It is a broken system, all the way top to bottom, down to the lowest rung of law enforcement, which is the actual police officers, right? It's a broken system. Where the cops really went wrong, and where I find, besides shooting and killing Breonna Taylor, which is obviously the most wrong and unjust thing to do, is on these no-knock warrants, they have an ambulance on site for every last one. And for whatever reason, when they arrived at the home, the residence of Breonna Taylor, they told that ambulance to leave. That, to me, is the most condemning factor in this entire case. Secondly, in regards to your question, Yonathan, and how can it be the system? Let me tell you, being in the system from the other side, to get a no-knock warrant is one of the hardest warrants to obtain. Brad hit it right on the head. The people that law enforcement exercise no-knock warrants are those that are an extreme danger to society, where there's a heightened risk that, but for that no-knock warrant, right? No-knock meaning no knock, no announcement, which they claim they said they were law enforcement officers, which I do not believe them, because they had the right to enter that home without doing it. So I think they're trying to cover tracks there. That to get that is extremely high burden. There are knock warrants, there are knock and announce warrants, there are arrest warrants, there are search warrants. There are a number of different levels to warrants. Now, there was a cry by the public to arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor. But guess what? We should also be looking to charge the judge that irresponsibly signed a no-knock warrant when the only allegation was not that there were narcotics sold at that residence, not that there was a victim being held hostage at that residence, but that someone that sold drugs at a separate location received a package at that residence on several occasions. Not that that person lived there. There was no cooperative testimony. The person was known to frequent that location, known to sell drugs at that location, or known to have anyone in danger at that location. So that is the first problem, that we have a judge that swore and took an oath to protect the community, right? Because again, just like I challenged prosecutors this morning, I'm challenging judges too. You take an oath to seek justice. That's not justice. Signing a warrant to give cops who are ill qualified, who do not have the proper training to even exercise normal control on the street for an arrest. You give them carte blanche to enter someone's home without knocking. Just like Brad said, they're going to use that to be more amped up, because like, oh, now we're busting in. We don't know what's going to happen. They try to justify their act, and that's where the system is. And that's where justice has not been served. And that's where the DA should have checked that cop when he was asking for that warrant, because they didn't have a legal basis to even apply for it to begin with.
So I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have one question. So why did the city settle the civil suit with the family for $12 million if none of them were going to get charged? Like why?
Yeah.
Like how can you settle?
If you look back at the and David maybe will expand on this a little bit, but the best example of this is O.J. Simpson. To recover. Remember, OJ was found innocent of killing Goldman and his wife, but he ended up paying the Goldman family, I don't know, $30 million or something like that. But and the reason is this: in a civil trial for money, when you sue somebody civilly for money, there's a different burden of proof, and the burden of proof is preponderance of the evidence, you're wrong, which means a jury weighs in their head. If you've ever been on a jury, 51% of the facts say the cops did something wrong, 49% of the facts say the cops were right, cops lose every time, and they have to pay the full amount. For a criminal trial, it's reasonable doubt, where that burden is much more. What would you say, like the percentage of facts? Is there a way to weigh the percentage of facts?
Like with preponderance of the evidence. So
Yeah.
in the law, there's a phrase that is a slight tipping of the scale. So really, you look at the scales of justice, it's like a 51-49 for preponderance of the evidence. When it comes to reasonable doubt, it depends on what role I'm in. As a prosecutor, I'm minimizing that burden. As a defense attorney, I'm telling you during voir dire and during summation that beyond a reasonable doubt is the highest standard that the law could allow. And that means beyond any reasonable doubt that anyone can have. And I'd probably take that up to 99%. However, if you were to say that in a courtroom, you would get objected to because you cannot quantify beyond a reasonable doubt. The judge will give that instruction. And even the judge themselves don't articulate a quantification of what beyond a reasonable doubt means. I think Brad hit the nail on the head right away. It's a PR issue for the police department, obviously, and because the burden is so low, they knew they would have to pay out anyway. A jury is going to be more inclined to throw a large sum of money at Ms. Taylor's family, unfortunately, than as we've seen to indict the officers that were responsible for her death. However, what should be noted, and Brad knows this, the standard in the grand jury is just as low as it is in civil court. It's preponderance of the evidence. There is a phrase and a saying in law enforcement, in the DA's office, in the criminal defense world, that you can indict a ham sandwich. It is extremely easy to indict someone. You only need to give a basic outlining of the facts, not even the specific details, to get to that preponderance of an evidence standard, which is why I think the presentation may not have been done so thoroughly. I think what Brad said earlier is probably the way that a lot of grand jurors felt, is that these cops went in there and they didn't know what to expect, and the way that the testimony would have come out in the grand jury as to who fired first, I would say it had to be the determinant factor. But also what I said to Brad, and I'm on air, I hide from my word. What I said when I walked out of your office, Brad, you said the system is broken, and I guarantee this won't happen in an all-white neighborhood. The system is operating exactly how people want it to work, right? It is a broken system on purpose. Why? Because in America, we have private prisons. When you have private prisons, the more people you fill it up with, the 1% are making money. And that's just a fact.
So I happen to agree with you 100%. When we get there's a system that is in place that requires people to go to jail, that people have to go to jail. And as a result of that, who's going to jail? It's not rich white dude going to jail unless they're, caught, red-handed, paying somebody $500,000 to get their daughter into school. And that's only for 15 days they go to jail. But the point is that we have a system that doesn't work. And yes, I want to see justice for Breonna in the sense, I want to see justice for George Floyd in the sense that somebody has to go to jail and pay for their death. But the real justice is going to come when the system changes so we don't have more Breonnas and more George Floyds. And that happens when laws change. And that starts with our elected leaders. And unless our elected leaders are going to change the system, we can march all day long for justice for Breonna, justice for George, and everybody else that came before them. Okay? There should be no knocks on for a guy with drugs. There was no reason, David, why a cop can't wait outside the door. Eventually, he's got to come out of the house. Right? Just wait for him. Just wait for him. He's not going to sit in the apartment for a year, even if it's a week. Just wait for him. Eventually, he'll come out and just arrest the guy if that's what you wanted to do.
But the crazy thing is they had no warrant for anyone in that residence. Like the basis for the no-knock warrant is so ridiculous to me that the person who they actually went and arrested separately, several miles away, was receiving packages there, right? That was the basis for a no-knock warrant. You hit on something else, Brad, that, you know, justice in America doesn't look the same. I mean, we just saw this week, the woman in California, the actress, that has to serve out her sentence, that gets to pick the jail that she goes to. Where else do you see that sort of thing? And Vanessa, you hit on something earlier that really bothers me, right? Whatever ignorant person wrote on your feed, forget about, you know, white, black, Latin, Hispanic, Asian, whatever. It is a basic human issue. If someone is killed that does not deserve to be killed, if that doesn't bother you, you are a sick person. And anybody has a problem with that, at me, David Moreno, ESQ. We can debate it all day.
You're right. Breonna Taylor, innocent woman,
Send them your way, David.
sitting in her apartment, has the police knock down the door and gets killed. And by the way, even if the boyfriend shot first, don't you think he has a right? He doesn't know who the hell's barging into this apartment. Doesn't he have a right to defend himself?
In his home.
It's his home.
He doesn't know who's out
You don't know who the hell. I mean, and I'm not even. I don't. And the ballistics say he didn't shoot first. But even if he did, doesn't he have a right to defend himself? I mean, if I'm sitting in my apartment and I have a gun and someone bursts in and it's pitch dark in the middle of the night, I'm fast asleep, I'm going to say, hey, who's there? So, any event, I'm going to let everybody, one last word. We got to move on. Yonathan, Vanessa, David, your last words on this.
I'll just keep on stressing, like Brad said, you know, it's your local government. You have to please do your research. This will not end until we all get out there and start voting, putting and electing the people that make these decisions. That's basically all I could really say. I mean, keep on doing your research. You know, this is out there for us to learn, and tell your friends and family to also do so, because so many people think that they can't make a change just because it's one person, but one person can make a big change. So let's just go out there and start voting.
Yeah, and to follow up with that, of course, so important, everyone go out and vote, but people don't outrage for no reason. And now that we have gone through this and we keep seeing it day to day, the conversation needs to keep happening. By us talking about it doesn't mean it's going to stop, but it will raise a conversation. There'll be a lot more awareness. Again, we don't blame, not all cops are bad, but by making this a conversation that we're constantly having, raising your voice, having, you know, these conversations with people around you, it'll build more awareness. So when these people do go into work every day, they can only do their best to try and make the best decisions. And I mean, you can't ever, again, you can't point fingers. Good cop, bad apples are everywhere. Racism is still a real thing. It exists. It has existed. And hopefully, you know, we can be part of the generation that creates a revolution where will anything completely, you know, not exist anymore? No, but can we really make a change? Absolutely. So that we don't have to keep having stories like this.
And David?
Thank you all for taking time out of your show to educate and have a dialogue about this, because I think dialogues like this are incredibly important. Be the light, be the love, be the change that you want to see in the world, right? That goes from everything from large to small. Not writing offensive comments on people's Instagram pages or Facebook pages, up into, you know, holding your neighbor accountable, whether you're a cop, fireman, lawyer, police officer, anyone. It's accountability. And Vanessa and Yonathan, you guys hit the nail right on the head. Go out and vote. However, don't only vote in the main election, the main event, the one that they condition you to think is the only one that matters. Our branches of government are broken up into 3 separate branches for a reason: executive, legislative, and judicial. Legislative makes the laws, judicial enforces the laws. Judges in most cities are elected, right? Do your research and make sure you get involved in local elections, because guess what? Those are the folks that are going to affect your day-to-day life the most. And in the executive branch, they often can't move without approval from the legislative branch. So while you should go out and vote in the presidential election, and it's very, very important, I'm not going to minimize that. The local elections are just as important, and they should be taken just as serious.
All right, and my final word is, I'm just reading Jessica Leamy. Joel Reed says, the deaf and the blind knew that the boyfriend didn't shoot first. And what I found extraordinarily interesting on a no-knock warrant, one thing which I didn't know until this segment, David, was that the cops asked the ambulance to leave. But what also I did know before this segment is that the cops did not have body cams on, which is extraordinarily unusual. And why
that kind of call?
Why didn't they have their body cams on unless they knew they were going to do something that wasn't correct? It's just unusual that they would go on a no-knock warrant and have no audio or video of it. The boyfriend says the cop shot first. The cops say the boyfriend shot first. And my opinion, there's no body cam. They mistakenly forgot to have an audio and video of what was going on. I believe the boyfriend.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you all for having me.
All right, thank you, David. Yes, thank you very much. You know what we got to do? We got to lighten this thing up, Yo-Yo and Vanessa. Let's go span the world to the wackiest news of the week in Wacky News Thursday. There we are, spanning the world in our biplane, Wacky World News Thursday. And apparently in Japan, guys, Japan has the oldest population in the world, and it's causing a labor shortage. But they have a new solution. No, it's not immigration. That would be the real solution. They have a new solution. They're 7-foot-tall robots who stack shelves in convenience stores. With almost a third of the population age 65 and above, companies are turning to technology. This week, Lawson, a Family Mart, and Lawson, they're two big convenience stores. They deployed its first robot at a convenience store in Tokyo. Family Mart trialed the same robots last month, and says it plans to have them working in 20 stores by 2022. Matt Kamutsu, head of business development and operations, tells CNN Business it's able to grasp or pick and place objects of several different shapes and sizes. Do we have a video of this, or we just have pictures? Maybe just pictures. But that's kind of cool.
You saw
Oh, there was a video?
There's a video.
So it's a guy with a robot. Wow. So he's sitting at home.
How they program it.
Yeah, No, he's moving the robot, so he could be like sitting on the toilet. Yeah, I didn't see that. So he could be like sitting on his toilet at home, stacking shelves. It's the new stock boy. He doesn't leave the bathroom for anything. He can just sit on the toilet all day and stock shelves.
Have you guys ever seen iRobot?
We're going into the Jetsons.
Yeah. Have you ever seen what?
Have you seen that iRobot with Will Smith?
No.
You haven't?
No, I know the movie, but I never saw it.
Okay,
Yeah, exactly. I know the movie, but I haven't watched it.
Yeah.
Okay. At the end of the day, it don't go well. Look, stick to human beings, all right? These robots, you can't trust them. I believe that they're gonna get the mind of their own. They're gonna start a whole community and just turn.
Yonathan,
I would not. And then at 7 feet, hell no, I'm good.
Did you ever see the movie The Terminator? Arnold Schwarzenegger's a robot, goes back in time and kills all the robots kill everybody. I saw that movie.
Exactly. I don't trust them. I don't trust
trust no robot. That's for sure.
You will never run out of people that need jobs.
Let me explain something to you. If I am ever in Japan, I will not be going to Family Mart or Lawson's convenience store. That is for sure. I don't want no scary robot doing anything with my food. All right. Meanwhile, from scary robots in Japan, we're spanning now to Mexico City, where a crew who is cleaning 22 tons of trash from a Mexico City drain, they came across what is considered perhaps the largest rat ever found. The rat, which turned out to be a Halloween prop that was in a warehouse, but they thought it was a 22-ton rat. They freaked out. Apparently washed away. This Halloween prop apparently washed away during a storm, but they thought they found the biggest rat in the history of the world. people who
So
saw
it
this,
wasn't real.
it was not real. People who saw this giant rat couldn't figure out how it squeezed through the drain in the first place due to its size, but everyone marveled at how big and real it actually looked. Can you imagine you're the worker and you come across this rat? Would you freak the hell out?
What? Just looking at those pictures.
You talk about robots taking over over the world. Now it's rats taking over the world. Huge rats.
He's almost as big as the cop.
20.
He's as big as the cop.
20. Oh my God! But it
That's
ended
how
up.
I feel like the rats. That's how I feel like the rats in New York are becoming, because not everybody is riding the trains anymore, so they're not throwing trash out. I heard that these rats are eating each other. So like it's only like the biggest rats that are actually surviving now, and I believe that that's what it's going to end up being.
I'm going to tell you something. I saw a rat come run across where I was on Lexington Avenue about a week ago. I am not even kidding. This rat looked like a small German Shepherd. Like a baby German Shepherd came flying across. And I'm like, wait, somebody put a collar on that dog. And then my friend goes, that's not a dog, that's a rat. I go, what, are you kidding me? I mean, they were huge.
Oh, gross.
Huge.
And they eating each other now.
Huge.
Because they ain't got no trash. Nobody's throwing trash out. They're eating each other.
Meanwhile,
beware, y'all.
Meanwhile, going from Mexico City all the way down to the Antarctica, all the way up to the Arctic in the North Pole. A group, I took the plane in the wrong way. A group of explorers were sailing the open seas of Svalbard, which is an archipelago. How do you pronounce this? An archipelago? An archipelago? Between Norway and the North Pole, and they came across a giant iceberg. Now, two of the guys who are experienced climbers started scaling this huge chunk. One of them, Mike Horn, is a famous explorer for more than 30 years. They obviously didn't expect what happened moments after they started scaling it. They started to make their way up and across using ice picks and boots, and the iceberg began to tilt, and the whole thing toppled over. You want to know why?
They're okay, right?
Yeah, they're okay. You want to know why? Because it's global warming. All the icebergs are melting.
Yeah.
The Titanic-sized lesson here is when someone yells iceberg right ahead, don't jump on the iceberg. Now, not with global warming. The icebergs are melting. Going from the Arctic, Yo-Yo and Vanessa, we're headed to Germany, where a nudist in Germany chased a wild boar after it stole its laptop and received applause when he got his laptop back. The photographer who captured the drama said the unidentified nudist was happy to share the images. The man was sunbathing naked in Berlin, a popular and perfectly legal practice in the German capital. Then the wild boar had apparently spotted a pizza being eaten by other bathers. It seized a yellow bag containing the man's laptop, believing it also was a pizza. The photographer, Adele Landauer, said because the bag contained his laptop, he gave it his all and ran across the park absolutely naked after this wild boar who stole his laptop. And he finally got it back, and it made the news only in Germany.
Oh man!
Wow.
Yes, and
that's what she had.
Yep.
For eating pigs.
Yes, and moving from Germany to Iceland, people around the world are finding different ways to relieve stress during the coronavirus pandemic. For some in Iceland, it's screaming. That's what I do every day on Brad Show Live. I scream. I talk as loud as I can. Then I go home and I watch the show and I go, why am I screaming for 2 hours? Because I'm stressed out all day. So I'm following what's going on in Iceland, apparently. Now, Promote Iceland, which encourages tourism to the country, is encouraging people to scream to relieve pent-up frustration. And even if you can't travel to Iceland to do it, you can even scream wherever you are. We give you permission right now, Brad Squad, to scream and let it out. Are you ready? Yo-Yo and Vanessa, let's let it out. You ready? I can't take it anymore! I'm gonna scream! And I'm gonna yell! And I'm gonna relieve all my tension right now!
Oh. I feel better.
I feel better.
say, you've been practicing this, man.
I feel. Look at me. Look at me. My collar's all.
Right.
I'm all disheveled now. My face is red, but I gotta tell you,
I know. Kind of gave you a little blush.
I gotta tell you, I feel.
But do you feel good?
I feel a lot better.
I feel better.
I feel fantastic. I want you to know something. There was one person who was very ladylike here. That was Vanessa, who just watched me and Yo-Yo, who just watched me and Yo-Yo go crazy. And Vanessa's like, listen, I'm a lady. I'm not going to scream on the air. All right? I have some manners.
There's a couple of floors in this building.
All right, so
I don't care.
So Yo-Yo, why don't you invite everybody to scream and let it out and tell everybody what they need to do while we get ready to answer some immigration questions.
Absolutely. All right, guys, you heard it. Okay, you already know what you're gonna have to do. Start your watch parties. I was gonna say before you start your watch parties, I want y'all to scream though. If you guys are listening to me in the comment section, I want you guys to put like a screaming emoji. All right, but now please start your watch parties. This is how you're gonna do it. All you have to do is click on share. It will say more options, then start your watch party, or host your watch party, then start. It will take the video from our page to your page. You are the host. And I want you guys to make sure you let everybody know to put in their questions in the main page. Because if they put it just in your page, we're not going to see it. All right, so tell them to come to the main page, introduce them. I think this will be dope if you guys actually put like, maybe every week or every episode, you're like, okay, I need to introduce at least two new people into the Brad Squad from your watch parties. Okay, so that's what I want to kind of give you guys. I want to give you guys a little homework to see if you guys can do that. Start your watch parties and then bring somebody from that watch party from your page and bring them into the main page, introduce them, let them know to ask questions, interact, talk to us. We want to invite as many people, as many good people into the Brad Squad. All right, now sharing is also caring. I want you guys to please keep sharing. Keep clicking that little arrow that says share and share to anybody's page. Share it to an inbox. You can share it into groups. You could copy the link. Send it in a text message blast. It's very easy, okay? Super easy, but it means a lot and it goes a long way. We will get to the entire world if you guys share to people that you know that need help, all right? And make sure you tell them to share as well. Ness-quick, what are we going to do on YouTube?
On YouTube, squad, first thing I would usually say is that I need you guys to subscribe, but we're at 37 thumbs up, and I think we can't move forward until we have at least 50 thumbs up. Let's do halfway by the end of the calls.
Vanessa, did you just say 100 thumbs up and I'm not answering any questions? Did you just say that?
50.
By the way,
I'm saying 50 for right now.
By the way, all right, let's see if we get it. By the way, because we're not going to answer questions, I just want to do a public service announcement quickly. You guys stay along here. Go back. There you go. And tomorrow, I don't know if I told you this or not, so I want to let you know as well. We're going to do a pop-up. We are not going to be coming live at 6-ish. We're going to do a pop-up tomorrow, which is going to be earlier than 6-ish New York time. Now, the only way, Yo-Yo and Vanessa, the only way you will know what time we're going to pop up, because we're only going to share it with the Brad Squad. So if you're a member of the Brad Squad, we're going to tell you secretly when we're going to be coming on.
Thanks for saying that.
Otherwise,
Brad.
I told you. So Yo-Yo and Vanessa, if you are not part of the Brad Squad, you won't even know what time to show up to work tomorrow. Okay? So so I'm not even going to tell you.
I'm a VIP member.
Are you a VIP member? Okay.
I'm going to be glued right
I am.
Yeah.
I say this every day.
All right. So if you're a VIP member, you're going to find out what time we're going to come on tomorrow. Vanessa, why don't you finish up while you demand 50 thumbs up?
Yeah, bare minimum, and look at us going up, 41. But
Brad
said, that is exactly why you should be subscribed to the channel, and not just subscribe to the channel, but make sure that you turn on the notification bell, because it will notify you at what time our pop-up show is on, and you don't want to miss that, you guys. Of course, we always want to hear from you guys in the comments, so keep that going. And nevertheless, because we are about to start answering immigration questions, we need you guys to share. So that share arrow right below, click click that, it's going to have you copy the link. You can send it in a text message, send it through a WhatsApp group, send it to a Facebook group, send it out there. I love what Yo-Yo said. Imagine if each of us right now on YouTube would bring 2 friends into a squad. Our community would grow so much. You never know when there's someone around you that needs help with their immigration case and just does not have the source, or doesn't even know that Brad Show exists. And by you inviting them, they'll know that we're here. So let's keep those thumbs up rolling. I still don't see 50. I'm going to keep this going. Pop-up show tomorrow, but you'll only know if you're subscribed to the channel and turned on the notification bell. And of course, we are on Instagram. So make sure that you follow us there at Brad Show Live, where if you can't catch a full show, you can catch the best snippets of our show there, but you must be following us. Slide into our direct messages where we also collect questions for social media check-in. But without further ado, let's get to what you guys were waiting for.
All right, let's go to Morshed in Toronto, California. Morshed, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. What's going on?
I called day before yesterday, and I left the country and I came to Canada, and I have a 10 years bar.
Right. I remember speaking with you.
Yeah, I need to fill out the I-212 form for waiver. But one thing I couldn't mention it day before yesterday, which was I went to U.S. For last year for 10 days because my sister and my brother-in-law was very sick. In that case, still I'm able to apply for a waiver for 10 years bar?
If I recall, you were in deportation and you self-deported. Is that correct?
Right.
Right, okay. So if you self-deported, let's just take this in theoretically.
Right.
All right, if you self-deported, and then you came back to the United States without permission, then there's no waiver for that. Now you have a 20-year bar from coming back to America. So if in fact that's what you did, and you self-deported, which I don't even know that you did, I'm just presupposing all of this, you have a big problem.
Right.
So maybe, just maybe, you need a consultation so we can figure this one out.
Okay.
Hold on one second. Hold on.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to Ibrahim
Hello.
in Queens. How are you?
Hello. Hi. How are you, sir?
Good.
Sir, I have a question. I'm green card holder is 5 years in the USA. So I last 2019 August 2, I'm arrested. I have order of protection with my wife. So I break the order of protection, and then after 2 months is November 2019. His case is dismissed. So now I have 5 years in the USA. Can I apply for U.S. citizenship now?
When did you get your green card again? Because I got confused on the dates. Tell me again.
My green card is 2015 November.
Okay. And how long have you
So
been out?
now-
And were you outside of the United States for any period of time?
This November is gonna be 5 years.
Okay.
It's coming November.
But how did you get your green card?
My wife throw.
Okay. Are you not with
My
her
wife-
anymore? You're not with her anymore.
No, I'm separation.
Okay. Have you been outside of the United States for any long period of time?
No.
No. Yes, you can file your citizenship now because you're within 90 days of the 5-year anniversary of you getting a green card.
But I'm arrested. Is any problem?
You got
I break
arrested.
the order. Yes.
What did you get arrested for?
I have some family. For first, my wife hit me. Then I complained the police. Then police arrested my wife. Then my case. I have one baby also. I'm going to the family court. Family court gave me a temporary order of protection, and then my wife, after he arrested, after 1 month, he called me emotionally. I love you. This. Come in my house. Family court gave me order of protection. Don't go your house. Don't.
So you
call
got
your wife.
so you got arrested for violating. So so how did the police get called to the home after your wife said, I love you, come back to me? You have this order of protection from family court, which was not as a result of an arrest, just your wife brought a family court proceeding against you. And then She says, I love you, I love you, I love you, come back, you know, mwah, 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 mwah. You come back.
Yeah.
I wasn't kissing you, by the way. I was just reenacting what your wife would have been doing to you. I just want to make it clear. And then you come back. One second. You go back to the house. How did the cops find you in the house? The wife called?
Yes.
Why did she call the cops after you came back?
She called she SMS actually social worker. Social worker called the police.
So she told the social worker that your husband's been coming around. Okay. Yeah. When did this arrest happen?
Then I am arrested. Then after second day, I am.
When did this arrest happen? When did it happen?
Is August 2, 2019.
Okay. And what was the result of the arrest? Were you found guilty of something?
They don't. The criminal court, government attorney, they don't say anything. They just give me after 2-3 months, give me one in the appointment in the criminal court, and I just go. They say case is dismissed. That's it. I just know that. They told me case is dismissed.
You sure for a fact the case was dismissed?
Yeah, the attorney told me. Yeah,
well, if your case was dismissed, you can certainly file for citizenship. You have to prove good moral character, and there's going to be a lot of questions about, you know, why you got arrested for violating an order of protection, number one. But, as I'm just thinking it through right now, what the law does say is this with orders of protection. If you have an order of protection, that is per se bad moral character. So you cannot prove good moral character while you have an order of protection. So when is this order of protection over?
Order of protection already finished.
When? When?
Is criminal court, they give me order of protection is...
When is the order of protection over?
February 2nd, 2020.
Okay, so your order of protection was over February 2nd, 2020. Are you back together with your wife, or now it's completely over?
Yes, I'm gonna back to with my wife.
You're back with your wife.
I have a family. I have family court.
Is there a family? Is there a family court? All right. So first of all, you're not going to be able to become a citizen until at least 2023, because you got to, assuming you and your wife are going to be together, and assuming you're in a bona fide relationship for the next 3 years, living together, and you work things out. And it sounds very volatile, but you work things out. You have to count 3 years from the end of your work.
If I am not going to,
you have to count. You have to count 3 years from the end of your order of protection, because you did not. You need minimum 3 years good moral character in a bona fide relationship with an American citizen to file for your citizenship. You have good moral character, presuming you have no more order of protection. Your good moral character starts February 2020, so you have approximately 7 months of good moral character at this point.
So I need to see how many more after?
3 years from the end of the order of protection, presuming you're in a bona fide relationship with your wife, or 5 years if you're not together with her anymore.
If I am divorced my wife,
then it would be 5 years. It would be 2025.
If I divorce, it's gonna be 5 years, right?
Correct. All right, hold on one second. It's what it is. I only report the law. Richard in the Bronx.
Hello, good afternoon. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for talking to me.
Yes.
My name is Richard. I came from Nigeria. I came to this country 2016, December. I came on a student visa. But due to some reasons, I was unable to continue with the program. I came for a master program. So I met my wife 2017. We got married. So later, 2018, they called us twice for interview. The first interview, she didn't go with me. The second one, she didn't go with me.
Why?
So,
why?
She don't go.
All right, so you got denied. You got denied.
So you
got denied, I assume, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
yes.
What's the status now with you and your wife?
So after we got denied, I put in for VAWA. I spoke to my lawyer, so he advised me that we have to go on VAWA. So I did that. So my VAWA case, I received a prima facie, then I received a work authorization and parole. So my question now is that I wish to go back to Nigeria because I need to visit my mom. I don't know if I want to go with the parole, if I'll be safe.
You can go with the
Like,
advanced parole. It's perfectly okay. Just go for a short period of time. Don't go for more than a couple weeks.
You said what?
You can go with advanced parole. You have a pending adjustment of status. You have advanced parole. You can go. Don't go for more than a couple of weeks.
Okay, like 2-3 weeks.
That's fine. Enjoy your trip.
Okay. Another question, please. Before we got denied, well, after she failed to go for the second interview, or for the first interview, I spoke to my lawyer because my mom was critically hit then. So I spoke to my lawyer that I need to go home. So he applied for me, a parole on the previous case before we were called for the second interview. So subsequently, after the denial, they sent me the parole we applied for. So right now I'm having 2 parole, advanced parole.
You travel on the advanced parole that you got for the VAWA.
Okay, I should leave that one.
Yes, because the other one was denied, so that's no good.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. But they send me after the denial. They send me the advanced parole after the denial.
You have an adjustment pending on a VAWA. You got advanced parole on the VAWA. That is the travel document you use. Go for a few weeks. Don't stay too long. That's my answer. All right. Good luck.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Let's go to Dan in Mesquite, Texas. Dan.
Hi, Mr. Brad. How are you doing today? Thanks for having me. And may God bless and reward you for all that you do. And may He expand your coast super abundantly. Amen.
Wow. Thank you very much. I appreciate that prayer. What's going on? What can I do to help?
Yeah, Mr. Brad, I have 3 questions.
Yes.
The first one, a U.S. citizen filing for my I-130 for a stepchild. Is biometrics fee required to be paid along with the initial I-130 filing application?
If you're not doing an adjustment, you don't have to pay a biometrics fee.
Okay, so at what point is biometrics payment required?
When you do an adjustment of status.
Oh, okay. For a child who is abroad?
You don't need a biometrics for a child abroad.
Okay. The second question, Brad. Should there be a divorce between the U.S. citizen and the permanent resident couple? What happens to the I-130 application already filed by the U.S. citizen?
The U.S. citizen would have to be willing to continue and would have to show that would be the stepmother, that they have an independent relationship. Stepmother and this child have an independent relationship. They've met, and that because they have an independent relationship despite the divorce, you can complete the case. If the stepmother and the child never met, they have no relationship. Even if she wanted to complete it, that's the end of the case.
Oh, okay. So what if it's approved before the divorce? What happens?
I just told you. Well, that is the law all the way up to the point that the child gets a green card.
Oh, okay. The last question, Brad. Can I-130 form application for a child abroad be filed without an attorney?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
God bless you. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Judith in Houston, Texas. Judith.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. I have a question concerning I applied for my citizenship back in 2017. My green card was about to expire. I had a lawyer. I filed. He said, don't renew the green card because I would get my citizenship. Well, I was denied, and I was permanently barred. So
why were you denied your green card and permanently barred? What happened?
No, my citizenship.
Oh, why were you denied your citizenship?
They said welfare fraud was aggravated felony.
You have an aggravated felony.
That's what they said. I got another lawyer, and they said no, it isn't because it's under $10,000. And it happened back in 95.
All right, so you have a fraud case, and the fraud was that where the loss to the victim is more than $10,000. That's an aggravated felony. If
mine is under.
Okay, it's not the restitution. It's what was the actual loss to the victim. In 1995,
17.
what?
17.
What do you mean 17?
It was just 1,700.
1,700. Okay, so then they're incorrect. But just so you know, in 1995, in 1994, and 1992, what the law says, any day after November 17th, 1990, if you are convicted of an aggravated felony, you're permanently barred from becoming a citizen. So that 95 date doesn't mean anything in terms of your citizenship, but the value of the loss to the victim determines whether or not you're an aggravated felon. Now, on a fraud case, they can charge you as an aggravated felon another way, that you committed a theft offense and you went to jail for more than a year. Did you go to jail?
No.
Okay, so then they're wrong. So what'd you do about it?
No, I filed an appeal. I got another lawyer and I filed an appeal. But at this time, I'm waiting for my appeal. My green card is expired. My driver's license is expired, and my passport is expired. And I want to know if it was safe for me to renew my green card at this time.
I don't know that for a fact because I'm basing it on what you told me. And I don't know enough 100% certain to know whether you're an aggravated felon or not. Based on what you told me, you're not. But until I see the documents, I don't know for a fact you are or are not, number one. Number two, even being convicted of a crime of moral turpitude, you could still be deportable and removable alien depending on when that conviction happened, when that occurrence that caused the conviction happened, based on when you first entered the United States of America. So for all of those reasons, I can't tell you, but I think you should have a consultation and we can look through all the documents, and then I can. As an example, if you're convicted of a crime of moral turpitude within the first 5 years of entry into America, even if it's not an aggravated felony, you could be a deportable alien.
I've been here since 76.
Maybe is this your only offense or you have multiple offenses?
This is my only.
How did you enter in 76?
I had a green card.
Okay. So, I mean, based on what you told me, first of all, based on what you told me, yes, the answer is go renew your green card. You're not a deportable alien, because if it's a crime of moral turpitude, it happened more than 5 years after your entry, and that's your only offense ever, they can't deport you on that. So, based on the facts that you told me, yeah, go renew your green card. Do I know these facts are absolutely 100% certain? No, I don't, because I'm basing it on what you're telling me. But I have another question. You came in 72. How old were you when you came in 1972?
76, I think. 8.
And were your parents citizens before you were 18?
My mother was a citizen. She became citizen in 86.
How old were you at then?
16.
And where's your dad?
But she had already married him.
She was married
2 years before that.
She was married to your dad.
I was born out of wedlock.
You were born out of wedlock.
They weren't married.
Okay. How do we know that man is your dad? Is his name on your birth certificate?
In 82, he put his name on the birth certificate.
He put it on years later.
82.
He put it on years later.
I
think honestly, there's an argument to say you're a citizen right now. I've handled those cases before where they married the supposed dad years later, and what evidence is there that he's your father, other than he claims he is. But that's not definitive under Immigration Nationality Act. Some man adds his name 10 years after your birth. But be that as it may, if that's your only offense, it's a crime of moral turpitude. Yeah, renew your green card, and perhaps you are a citizen, and you can get a certificate of citizenship. What country are you from?
Belize.
Belize. Yeah. I mean, look at tell your lawyer to look at.
I tried to do that.
By the way, tell your lawyer to look at a case called Matter Klahar. I think that was, if I'm recalling correctly, that could be the case where somebody married the father after the fact. But you can give me a call if you want. So hold on 1 second, all right?
And I did. I mentioned that I had 2 lawyers. That's the thing. And nobody seemed to know the answer to this. And I've also mentioned that to them, and they were like, oh, that would be hard to prove. Yeah.
All right. Hold on 1 second. All I can tell you is have a third lawyer. I don't know what to tell you otherwise. All right? But yeah, hold on. Let's go to Mohammed in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Mohammed.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. So I came in United States 2013, and like a refugee. I'm from Somalia originally.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a green card, almost 7 years. So 2015, I had an accident in Wisconsin. So my accident, somebody died. And accident was like, it's a two-way traffic, but it's highway.
Were you charged with a criminal offense?
No, I don't charge anything. I don't charge nothing.
All right, so it was an accident then. Unfortunately, somebody died, but it was an accident. Okay, so
Yes.
your question is what?
Second, I had a speeding ticket 2016, and hearing office give me 1 year probation, and I did good. I don't do anything wrong. Then that was okay.
Can I ask you a question? Why are you speeding after you just killed somebody years earlier? Don't you think you would be a safer driver at that point?
No. It wasn't far speeding. I was just trying a bus. Somebody broke in his car, in the middle of the street. So I bussed him, and the police catch me, and he just say you was speeding. I was just over like 7,
Okay.
And I was trying to avoid the accident.
All right. I'm just. Where do you live in Minnesota? Just let me know when you're on the streets. I don't want to be there. But but in all seriousness, you were found guilty of a criminal offense. You were put on probation for a year. So that sounds like a pretty bad speeding.
No. 1 year probation. The hearing office gave me 1 year probation, and he told me.
It sounds like a criminal offense to me.
Criminal offense?
I don't know. Probation sounds criminal.
Oh.
It's a when somebody says I got probation, that is a punishment under the criminal penal code. So that means if you have probation, you were convicted of a crime. You don't get probation and not be convicted of a crime or not be sentenced under a penal code.
No, I don't even get the lawyer. The officer, he told me, the hearing officer told me your record is clean, so I have a deal for you before you go in court. Do you want to take it? And I say yes. He told me I put you probation 1 year. If you got moving violation within 1 year, both is gonna show. And I did. 1 year I don't get it anything. So my question is, I have a casino addiction, casino problem. So this is my main problem. I need to get answer, sir. So the problem is I wanted the casino. Then I say I'm losing my money too much. I want to ban my life for life. I want to take for life. And they say we don't do that, but we can give you 1 year self-exclusion. You don't want to come in here, but you can renew every year. Every year you can renew, but we don't have to. We don't give you for life, they say. Then I say yes, and they say, hey, Mohammed, you good to go now, send here and go to home. If you come back and you win money, you not get the money, and we can call you the police and you can get the citation. Then I say, okay. So after a couple of months, I have an addiction. Then I just make money, and I want it there so that I want to play. They catch me, and they say, don't come back. Then I want it back. Then they call me police, and the police give me citation 3 times. 3 times I got citation,
You're not going to become a citizen. You got to get your addictions under control. You keep getting arrested, whether it's your fault or not your fault. Citation's a citation.
Yes.
All right, hold on 1 second. Let's go to Henry in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Henry.
Yes, good afternoon, Brad.
How you doing?
I filed for my citizenship, and I got a letter in the mail saying that my kids are in Jamaica, and they wanted me to show proof of child support, and they denied me because I can't show proof, but my kids are in Jamaica.
What do you mean proof of child support? You want proof that you receive child support, or you're paying for the child?
Yeah, they want me to show it if I'm paying child support for kids in Jamaica, and they've never been here, they don't live here, they've never been to America.
And these are the children you filed for?
Yes, sir.
And who takes care of the children in Jamaica?
The mother, she have the kids. They're all over 18 now.
So just get a letter from the mom and say, when the kids were younger, he always sent money.
Okay.
That's simple enough.
Even though my case, so like what my case is, like what they deny me, they didn't approve my citizenship.
How long ago was it?
I just got a letter yesterday in the mail.
Well, we can We can appeal and bring a letter from the mom. We can refile again. It could be one or the other.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so basically you just need a letter from the mother saying this will confirm Henry. This will confirm that Henry, whatever your last name is, paid child support in a satisfactory amount. You don't have to say the exact number. In a satisfactory amount for all of these children. He would send it regularly, and I was very happy. And thank you, Henry.
Okay.
All right,
Brad,
and then try to appeal it. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Let's go to Andre in Belize. Andre, how are you?
Hi, good evening. I'm okay.
All right, what's going on?
Yes, what happened is I was deported in 2006 under the crime of moral turpitude. I think it was a 10-year bar, but now I want to reapply for my visa. Do I need a waiver?
Yes, because you got deported.
Okay, and which waiver that would be?
What are you applying for?
B1, B2.
Well, a non-immigrant waiver. You have to go in, get approved for the visa, but for the prior deportation, and then file a waiver.
Repeat what you said?
You have to go into the embassy.
Yes, sir.
Apply for the visa, be denied, and then they'll tell you the waiver to file for, which is a non-immigrant visa waiver.
All right, thank you.
But you're going to have a problem because you have to show the reasons to allow you to come to America outweigh the reasons not to. And that's a big burden after you got deported for criminal activity, for a tourist visa. What is the benefit to America for Andre to come to America? That's what you have to show. And if you say, well, I just want to visit, well, that's Andre's benefit to Andre, but how does that help America? You know, years ago, there was, before he went to jail again, there was an artist, Buju Banton, and he had multiple drug arrests and, had all sorts of problems. And everyone always wanted to know, how did this guy come to America on a work visa? Well, he's a, Grammy-winning artist, and the guy, is a benefit to America. He's doing all these concerts and culture and everything else. What is it that Andre is coming to do in America to benefit America? That's what they're going to want to see in the non-immigrant visa waiver.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Let's go to Cristiano in Lewiston, Maine. Cristiano.
Hello, Uncle Brad.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. You?
Good. What's going on?
I have a couple of questions here.
Yes.
My first one is regarding the new EAD rule. Does it apply for those who applied asylum in 2017?
No, it's only for, you're talking about applying for the work permit after 1 year instead of 180 days. It's only prospectively.
Correct.
So, so it doesn't apply to you. You can keep renewing it.
Oh, nice. My second question is, what are the requirements for traveling outside the country while I am still under asylum?
You can't. You could, once your asylum is granted, you could apply for a re-entry permit through the government, but you would be able to travel, and they give you like a U.S. thing, looks like a passport, but it's not. It just says, some sort of travel re-entry document, and you can travel to other countries other than the country you came from. That's after you get approved.
So it means I can travel while I'm still on the pending, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. And I've been here since 2017, and until now I haven't been called yet for an interview. And I would like to know, is there a specific time that are we supposed to wait before we are called for interview?
They're doing it last in, first out. So the people, in 2017 haven't been called yet. They're still calling people who filed in 2019. And then they're working backwards. So don't expect for a while. Now, if you have a really good case that is really a winnable case, what you may want to do is what's called a mandamus, which is force the government to interview you.
You called mandamus?
It's called a mandamus. It's a lawsuit against the government to force them to do their job, which is interview you.
Oh.
So we can help you with that. So it's a thought, but before we do that, we want to know that you have a winning case. We don't want to force them to interview you and then you lose. All right? So hold on one second, all right? Let's go to Petra in Atlanta, Georgia. Petra.
Hi, good night, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I have a question. I did my citizenship like last Friday,
Uh-huh.
and I got married to my husband in June 2020,
Okay.
but he doesn't have legal paperwork. Can I go ahead and file for him, or should I wait until my citizenship comes through?
He's out of status now?
No, he's been here since he was very young.
Okay, so he's out of status. Yeah, wait until you become a citizen.
Even though it's going to take 11 months, will it do anything, or just
Well,
take
he's not going to get a green card until you become a citizen anyway. How did he come to the U.S.?
He came legally. He has a London paper.
Yeah, so the answer is just wait until you become a citizen and then file the adjustment. By you filing an I-130 now, it's not going to make it go any faster.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, sorry about that. All right, let's go to Mario in Jefferson City, Missouri. Mario.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Greetings to you and your crew.
Thank you.
I'm doing good. We spoke a few days ago, and I told you about my case where I'm an international student.
Mm-hmm.
My wife is a U.S. Resident, not a citizen.
Right.
And she petitioned for my I-130. My priority date is August 30th, 2019. So that's a year ago. You advised me that, it was okay for me to go ahead and do the adjustment of status.
Uh-huh.
However, after we spoke, I went back to my immigration consultant here, and she is saying that we have to wait for a response or an approval for the I-130 before we can go ahead and do that. So I just wanted to get some clarification from you once more. How does that work?
I don't change my opinion.
Oh, so I can still go ahead and do it?
You take a receipt notice from the I-130 as long as the priority date is current and you're in legal status, and you file an adjustment application. You could listen to me, you could listen to somebody else. It's up to you. My opinion doesn't change. I know what I'm talking about.
All right, sounds good. I just wanted to know because,
All right.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, good luck. All right, so let's see, where are we at here? In today's For Education, I answer the question, how long after I get married can I file for my spouse? You can file for your spouse the next day, and you should. People think that they should wait because somehow it's going to make it look like it's more of a real marriage. Quite frankly, if you're in a real marriage, it's going to be real if you file the day after you get married, and it's going to be real if you file 6 months after you get married, and it's going to be real if you file 1 year after you get married. So you might as well file right after you get married. If, on the other hand, it is something other than a real marriage, whether you wait 1 day to file, 6 months to file, or a year to file, I can almost assure you, you will not get through. The Immigration Service will figure it out, so you're only hurting yourself and fooling yourself. Quite frankly, don't outsmart anybody. Don't try to outsmart yourself. If you're married and you want a green card, get married, file right away. All right, and by the way, if you didn't get your immigration questions answered on our call-in segment, you could always follow me at Real Brad Bernstein on Instagram. Drop me a DM. I'll try to help you as best as I can. Sometimes it takes me a day or two to get back, but trust me, I will get back to everybody. I answer everybody. Also, you can follow us at Brad Show Live on Instagram. If you follow us at Brad Show Live on Instagram, you'll get the best 1-2 minutes of our show, plus all other fabulous little tidbits of stuff from our show that you can't get in a 2-hour show, but you can only handle 2 minutes. Then follow Instagram at Brad Show Live. And Yonathan.
Yeah, you guys can follow me at Yonathan Elias TV on all social media platforms.
And you guys can find me at Vanessa.Contreras.
All right. So in today's Spar and Bernstein Close-Up, immigration attorney and partner Shannon Laguerre gives advice on how to navigate your immigration case during the COVID pandemic. Let's watch.
You need to speak to your attorney
You need to ask them, what is the strategy? How do we move forward? Will I still be able to either keep my green card, get a green card? And so these are things that you need to sit down with your attorney and talk about. You also have to be patient. This is not normal because this is a whole pandemic that's affected the entire United States. And the judges' unions, the government attorneys' unions have been fighting really hard. They are trying to find a way to keep everyone protected. And so we need to be understanding of that too, but also understanding, how do we move forward from this? Will I be protected? Make sure you keep in contact with your attorney, because if somehow you're depending on a qualifying relative where that person's going to age out, then you need to speak to the attorney. What can we do? Because I need to make sure that I'm able to get this green card or this level of relief. So very important to speak to your attorney during this time.
All right, let's do something we like to call social media check-in. All right, what do we got, guys?
All right, everybody. GQ, the genius on Facebook asks, do I need to apply for a waiver before applying for a B1, B2 visa? If so, what waiver?
I don't know why you need a waiver. If you're inadmissible to the United States, you have to apply for the visa first, be denied, and then you apply for a non-immigrant visa waiver. The embassy will give you the information.
Next one comes from Ritz T. Feliciano on Facebook. Is it advisable to file with premium processing at this time?
Sure. I don't think they're accepting many cases for premium processing, if any, but if they're accepting it, great.
Okay, Annette Bullock on Facebook asked, what immigration fees will be raised in October?
Ha! I happen to have it right here. Thank you very much, Julie.
There you go.
Here we go. Everything. No, actually, some things are going down, believe it or not. The I-130 is going up to $550, but the biometric fee went down from $85 to $30. I know the I-45 went down the I-45 went up a few dollars, but you save the money on the biometric, so it's actually going to be ultimately cheaper. What else went up and went down? I'll tell you what went up a lot, where it's really going to kill people, and that's the citizenship. The citizenship went up to $1,170 from $725, and for a certificate of citizenship that went down a little bit. But the biggest increase is going to be in waivers, fees for naturalization, and appeals. Appeals of naturalization are now $1,735. So the citizenships went up a lot. Everything else went up a few dollars or went down a few dollars, but it's really the citizenship that went up the most.
Oh,
that's quick.
Just kidding. Renardo Andy Willis. I'm like, go ahead, yo-yo. Renardo Andy Willis on Facebook. Under what circumstances would someone be issued an emergency immigrant visa?
For an emergency, I guess. You want me to list every emergency you could think of? I don't know. It's on a case-by-case basis. You would have to show a real emergency. Tell me what your emergency is, and I'll tell you if it meets muster. That's better.
Right, that helps.
Okay,
that could be.
right. I mean, I can't think of every emergency in the world.
Okay, I have one from Instagram, handle sweet_T, saying I applied for my citizenship with a fee waiver because I currently receive a means-tested benefit, which is Medicaid. I submitted a document from the state saying that I currently receive Medicaid. However, my fee waiver was denied. Could you answer how?
It's based on your income, not whether you get need-based assistance. So you got to show what your income is. You got to show your tax return.
Lisa Bennett on Facebook. How long do I have to be married until I can file for citizenship?
You have to have a green card and be in a bona fide marriage for 2 years, 9 months, and 3 days.
Okay, Noreen Shazad on YouTube asks, does the I-944 affect citizenship applications?
No, it does not. That's for adjustment of status.
Dwayne Segui on Facebook. I just sent my daughter's paperwork to immigration. How long will she have to wait for her fingerprint appointment?
weeks, months. We don't know. Depends. We got to speak to the Department of Homeland Security when they're going to be doing biometrics. We got to speak to the coronavirus. When is the coronavirus going to slow down? Where are you located? I wish I could speak to the coronavirus, and I wish I could speak to the Department of Homeland Security. No one's going to talk to me. But it's going to be months and months. Everything is slowed down because of coronavirus reality.
Hey, Safie Darbo on YouTube asks, what should I expect at my upcoming VAWA interview?
Expect to be interviewed about the abuse and your credibility behind whatever story you're saying. Expect to be interviewed about any sort of inadmissibility, some reason why you would, even though you were an abused spouse, that you wouldn't be otherwise eligible for a green card. Expect to be interviewed about your entry. Those three big things.
Danny Bay on Facebook, is USCIS extending the deadline by 60 days for all RFE submissions?
Yes, through January 1st.
Okay, Azul Pro Cleaning on YouTube asks, how long does it take to get a VAWA approval?
Over 2 years.
Lucy Anquilano on YouTube, if I'm from the Philippines and applying for a K-1 visa in August of 2020. I was asked to redo my biometrics. Does this mean I'm going to be denied?
No.
Rosie Njoku on Facebook asks, if I came to the U.S. on the Liberian program, how many months will it take until I get my EAD card?
You're filing the adjustment based on Liberian amnesty, and hopefully you'll get your work permit within 4 or 5 months of filing, if that's your question.
Lena Yourcell on Facebook, will public charge affect someone applying for an adjustment of status before October 3rd, 2020?
Yes.
Okay, RDF4 on IG is asking, can I still seek temporary protected status right now in the U.S.?
Depends what country you're from.
Jewel MCAA on YouTube, will applications submit before the shutdown still be valid once USCIS fully reopens again?
Applications what from the shutdown?
Will applications submitted before the shutdown still be valid?
Yes.
Once the USCIS?
Yes.
Okay.
Dominique Meja on YouTube asks, my nephew is about to turn 16 years old. Oh, man. Of course, everything just went out. Ness-quick, can you ask?
Can I adopt him from another country if I am a U.S. citizen?
Yes, but if he's about to turn 16, it's going to be too late, and you can't do an adoption in another country unless it's a Hague Convention. You have to do everything here in the United States and bring the child over as an orphan. So I don't know what you mean by about to turn 16. It could be a problem.
A King's Mind reacts on YouTube. Upon being found inadmissible, is it normal and or legal for the U.S. Border Patrol officer to take my passport away?
No, not necessarily. You shouldn't have your passport taken away because the passport actually doesn't belongs to the country that issued it.
Okay, Abby Anointed Styles on Facebook asks, are Nigerian K-1 visas banned by the Trump administration right now?
No.
The next one comes from Oseni Bamadil on Facebook. How can I approve my marriage is bona fide if my spouse and I have been living separately since 2018?
You can't.
Okay, Sasha Alex on Facebook asks, can I still apply for citizenship if USCIS says my marriage is not bona fide?
Well, I don't know what you mean by not bona fide. You have a green card already. Are they suggesting that you committed marriage fraud? That's a big problem. If they're suggesting, well, you're no longer living with your spouse, but it was a real marriage in the past, then yes, you can do your citizenship as long as it's after 5 years of having a green card.
Jackie Jones on YouTube, my I-360 was approved, but my I-765 was denied. Should I be concerned? What should I do?
Yes, because you did something wrong if your I-360 is approved and your I-765 is denied. You did just procedurally something is an error. You should be entitled to your work permit if your I-360 is approved.
Hey, Rona Lawrence on Facebook asked, if my sister died and my mom petitioned for her, can we bring my deceased sister's daughters here to the U.S.?
No, not unless they're in the United States of America. If they're outside, you need the main beneficiary to be alive. If the child is now orphaned and under 16, perhaps you can do an orphan petition.
The next one comes from Stephen Oyalik on Facebook. Can one apply for citizenship to avoid a fee increase by USCIS?
Can one apply for citizenship? Yeah, do it before October 3rd and avoid the fee increase.
Okay, and our last one for now is M. Wendy Gibson on Facebook saying, can I revoke an affidavit of support if I have a change of plan?
Yes. You can, well, let me put it to you this way. 1 second, let's take a step back. You can withdraw an application for somebody's green card if you're the petitioner. If they already have their green card, then it's too late. You can't withdraw an affidavit of support. You're on the hook. So it depends on what status they are in. Now, today, guys, we are going to throw it back to last fall, before social distancing, before face masks. This was a day when Yonathan was able to go out onto the streets and have some fun and play a game of traditions and celebrations around the globe. Let's play along in the comments and see if you know the answers.
Hey Brad Squad, this is Yonathan Elias out here in the streets of New York. We're gonna find our next victims for a game called Celebrations and Traditions Around the World. Let's go get them. All right, I got my new friend here. He's the Ken doll from Austria. What's up? What's your name?
Christian.
What's your name and where you from?
I'm Brian. I'm from Singapore.
Who's gonna win between you two?
Probably him.
What? I just knew you were gonna say you.
Okay, then me.
There you go. I like that better. All right, you ready to play Traditions and Celebrations Around the World?
I'm ready.
Oh yeah. Now, in Greece, when a child loses a tooth, where do you throw it for good luck? Is it A, down the drain, B, under the pillow, C, on the roof, or D, across the room?
Wait, what's the first option, sorry?
Down the drain, down the drain?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yes.
I would think under the pillow.
That's our culture.
I'm gonna go for D, across the room.
I'm gonna go for on the roof.
Yeah. 1-0. It's okay. You can still catch up. All right, so there's no tooth fairy that brings gifts for the children in Greece, which is kind of messed up because I really looked forward to that as a child. But what the children do is they make a wish when they throw their tooth over the roof and wish for healthy teeth. That's so adult-like. All right, now the second one. If you're on Copacabana Beach in Rio de Janeiro on New Year's Eve, what should you jump over 7 times while making a wish? A bonfire, sand dunes, driftwoods, or waves?
I'm gonna go with bonfire.
Do you live on the edge? That's dangerous.
Driftwood.
I'm gonna go for the bonfire.
I would say driftwood. I don't know. D.
It's D. Yeah, you jump over waves.
Jump over waves?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't see how you gonna jump and land on water and jump up again. That's amazing.
It's definitely tiring. 2 million people come to this beach to celebrate New Year's Eve. They all dressed in white, looking amazing, and partake in a lot of partying. But part of the tradition is also jumping over 7 waves and making a wish into the new year. In Norway, what does a bride wear to ward off evil spirits? Is it A, a cathedral-length veil, B, a heart-shaped diamond brooch, C, a silver crown with dangling charms, or D, silk gloves?
I don't know.
So is it A, cathedral-length veil? Yeah, you'll say A?
I'm gonna go for D, a silk glove.
I'm gonna go for C.
All right, 1-1. It is a crown, a silver crown with dangling charms. Good job, you got that. No evil spirits for the brides in Norway that are sporting a silver crown with dangling charms. What country proudly hosts the Air Guitar World Championships? First of all, do you guys know how to air guitar? Can I see an air guitar? Oh, come on. Ooh! Now let's see if you guys know what country hosts these championship competitions. Is it A, Finland, B, England, C, America, or D, Australia?
It's either A or D. I'm gonna go for
England.
I'm gonna say Finland.
I'm gonna go for D, Australia.
I'll go for A, Finland.
There you go. I like how she goes. I like how you think. You got it. Make your way to Finland if you want to compete in the air guitar championship. This has been going on for 25 years. 25 years of air guitar playing. What? In this traditional German competition, what kind of wrestling do competitors take part in? Is it A, arm wrestling, B, finger wrestling, C, Greco-Roman style wrestling, or D, folk style?
I'd say A.
Probably Roman.
Arm wrestling.
I'm going for D.
I'm going for C.
It is actually B, finger wrestling. That's interesting, right? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, I declare thumb war. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Okay, Fingerhaken, or finger wrestling in Germany, is when two grown men put their fingers together and strap it together with thread, sit across each other at a table, and the winner is the one who can pull the person to the other side just using their finger. Who would have thought? In Thailand, Yipeng is a Siamese festival celebrated by sending what floating through the air? Is it A, lanterns, B, butterflies, C, kites, or D, paper planes?
Kites.
I'm going for C, kites.
I'll go for A, lanterns.
I'll go lantern.
There you go. You got it.
See, the lanterns I'm familiar with, they're very heavy. And if you send them up in the air, they're coming
right back down.
Somebody getting hurt.
Thousands of people light their lanterns and let them out into the sky for the Yipeng Festival in Thailand. And this is because every November, the locals believe that the full moon and full rivers are the perfect time to light their lanterns up into the sky and wish for good fortune for the new year. You got it. Now, last one. Let's see if you can end off with a bang. What do Englishmen chase down a hill in an annual competition every year? Is it A, rabbits, B, cheese, C, hay bales, or D, beach balls?
I'm gonna go C.
Hay bale.
You can go first.
It's cheese.
Cheese.
There you go. Good job, guys. Ended off with a bang. Good job. Good job. The annual Cooper's Hill Roll Competition in Brockworth, England involves athletes chasing 8-pound rounds of double Gloucester cheese down a ridiculously steep hill. It sounds funny, but this actually can be very dangerous and a lot of people get injured. Well, there you have it, Brad Squad. Another amazing game, traditions, and celebrations around the world. I wonder how well you guys did. Let's check back in the studio.
The good old days when we were able to walk outside and talk to somebody without a mask or 6 feet away from each other. One day, Yo-Yo and Vanessa, one day.
That was dreamy. That was dreamy.
Dreamy.
Nice to see you outside, friend.
Wasn't that dreamy?
With other friends.
Or what about actual tourists in New York? Wouldn't that be dreamy too?
Right,
that people
right.
could actually come visit us?
Right.
You know?
People won't look at you weird with like, hey, you're too close to me if I have a mic.
Exactly.
I'm
Right.
scared to even walk up to people.
Right. You're supposed to
like, oh.
Wait a second. You're from Florida. Aren't you supposed to be quarantined for 2 weeks? Right?
Right.
All right.
Friend.
All right. You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. 50 questions in 9 seconds or 9 questions in 50 seconds? Let's do 9 questions in 50 seconds. Let's do 9 questions in 50 seconds.
Let's take it easy on him today. 9 more questions.
All right. Make it easy. 9 questions in 50 seconds. Let's go.
If I'm in an abusive relationship, can I file for VAWA?
Yes.
Is a joint bank account evidence of a bona fide marriage?
Absolutely.
Did USCIS run out of funds?
No.
Can I get a work permit if I don't have a social security number?
Yes, if you file an adjustment.
What application can I use to file for asylum?
I forgot the form number. Next.
Can my asylum status be terminated?
Yes, you withdraw it.
What's a notice of intent to deny?
It says that they looked at your application and they're going to deny you, but they're going to give you a chance to overcome the denial. 30 days.
What will my status be if I'm granted asylum?
As an asylee, then you got to adjust your status a year later.
What's the I-94 form?
No, we didn't do it because I skipped one. Blow me up.
Why are you so hard on yourself?
Blow me up. I did 10 or 9. Oh, I did 10. Yeah, because I skipped the asylum one. It's the fun. Probably it's the I-589. I don't know. I went blank on it, but I think it is the I-589. You're asking me form numbers. Come on. Form numbers and filing fees, I always forget. Just life. Life with Uncle Brad. Comments of the day. Comments of the day. What do you got?
All right, our first one comes from Lucia. Is it Lucia? Lucia. Brad, you are a gift to mankind, especially to people who need advice on their immigration problems. Thank you so much.
Oh, very nice. Thank you.
The next one comes from Yulene King. And they say, hi, Brad, Yo-Yo, Vanessa, squad up. Always a pleasure. Brad, you do great work. Your answers to questions are what people pay for at immigration consultations. Thank you.
Thank you. That is true.
Very true. It's very true. All right, our next one comes from Dip Fab Cake Affair saying Brad show with his team is on. The experienced immigration lawyer. Please watch the show, and if you have any question, you can call in to ask.
They're
true. Working.
That is true.
Okay, and to wrap up comments of the day, Cordella Douglas saying, Uncle Brad, you have the best lawyers and a super great team. Y'all are the best. Blessings to y'all. We love y'all.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. A couple of notes here, guys. We're going to be popping up tomorrow. So if you want to know when the pop-up is, you got to join the Brad Squad membership group on Facebook. That is where we will be announcing it. Other than that, you got to guess when we're going to be popping up. Also, we're going to be taking a 2-week hiatus because Uncle Brad needs a vacation. So I am going away for 2 weeks, and I will be back refreshed and recharged. So tomorrow will be our last day for 2 weeks, but it's going to be a pop-up a little earlier. Thanks for watching. So Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465. are you doing?